Hi everybody, here's Christian and this is Pico-8 Hero. And so yesterday, last time around, we discussed a lot like game design kind of stuff, and today we want to implement game design kind of stuff that we discussed. To reiterate, we have this list of power-ups. We drew the line here where there's like 2 power-ups of the original Arkanoid stuff that I think it was Arkanoid 2 that we don't want to implement. But there's also like those things that, like at least those things that we absolutely want to implement, those 6 power-ups. Maybe we're going to implement also multi-ball, depending on how fast things will go. Right, so, but there's one mechanic that is kind of like fundamental to all of this, which is like, I mentioned this previously, in Arkanoid there was like this thing where when you get a power-up, or at least like the power-up thing triggers. I'm not really sure how it was triggered in Arkanoid, but in our game it's going to be a special power-up brick that you hit. So if you hit that brick, a little pill will fall down and you have to pick it up with your ship to get the power-up. So there's like a 2-step process. Adds more control to all of this stuff, because then you can even decide if you really want to pick it up or not. But also kind of like creates like interesting decisions where you might be, required to actually hit the ball, and you have to decide whether if you have enough time to pick up the power up and hit the ball at the same time, or if you have to maybe drop the power up in order to keep the ball in the air. Okay. So this time around, actually, I wanted to show you something that a lot of people requested. We did this already. This time it's power-ups. So let me split this up into the multiple power-ups into multiple steps that we want to do with those power-ups, which is pills, and then speed up, speed down. So because last time around we were talking also about like not mixing negative and positive effects unless you really want this mechanic to be ambivalent, to players to feel ambivalent about it, or even to avoid it, to poison the well, so to speak, when you're designing effects. And it would be so easy for us now to get like, oh, there's speed down, let's do speed up, let's make the ball go faster. But of course that would be kind of like an effect or like a power that players would probably avoid. And so yeah, we don't want to put it in there. We already have the reduction, which already is kind of like, oh, I'm not really sure about that. Right, speed out, 1 up. Sticky. Expand. I'm going to put expand and reduct into 1. If I find the slash. There we go. And mega, I love mega ball. And then multi-ball. Okay, so these are the different to-do lists that we have to go through. Cool. Let me make the text go away. Actually, I'm just gonna keep it around, whatever. No reason not to keep it around. Good. So the way we're going to do the pills, this is what we're going to do today. The way we want to do the pills is, I think we have to breach the subject of sprites. Let's click on this Space Invader monster guy to get into the pills. I'm not sure why there's already a red dot here. I'm going to remove it. So maybe to reiterate here down here, you can select different, like these are different slots for sprites, so to speak. And you can always see which number sprite you're currently editing. This is the first one already has this cross. I don't know why. I'm not going to touch it, but I think there's a good reason for this, but I forgot. So whatever, let's go to the second one. And here we're going to draw a little pill. I'm using the draw function, the brush function. Let me look real quick at what, so let's go with speed down first. That was orange originally. Orange, okay. Right, so let's just draw a pill like this. And it's also very important to be like like something like this. Is that good? Does that look nice? That doesn't look good, I think. I think we have to go like this. Yeah, that seems fine. I want to have this pill to be relatively high, so I can actually write something in here, and that's going to be an S. See, if this pill was 1 pixel less, then the S would be at the bottom of the screen. That wouldn't look so great. At the bottom of the actual pill, I mean, not the screen. Let's see if we can maybe make this S more pronounced somehow. Maybe something like this. We don't have too much pixels to work here with. That doesn't seem like an S at all. Whatever. Okay, so now we have an S pill. So that's going to be for slow down, so to speak. Maybe we're going to use a different color for this. Yeah, that seems more consistent. Okay, so this is going to be the orange S pill. And so far, like this is going to be our first pill, and we just want this to just slowly move down when we hit a power up ball. That's something we want to do. Let's save this for now. Okay, so first of all, let me create a level that actually, so we can test this. So this is level number 1. So this was the explosion level test. Let me remove this. Let me create this guy here, and I am going to go power up. Actually, I'm going to go B9B. BB. So that actually no B1B. So yeah, that's when we create a row of normal bricks. Then I'm gonna go into the next line, and then I'm gonna create 4 empty spaces and a power up block. That's good. There we go. There's a power up block. Can I hit this? I should be able to hit this. Yeah, that was my concern. I want to hit this. Okay, so power up block is being hit. So now we have to think about how to make those pills appear on the screen, like conceptually. We're going to show you how to draw sprites in a second, but first, like conceptually, how are we going to actually track them in our memory? So the question that we have to answer to ourselves is whether we want to have multiple pills on the screen or not. If this is possible to have multiple screens multiple pills on the screen or not. And I think we should have multiple pills on the screen. So so let's do that. So we're gonna need, like with the bricks, we're gonna need at least 3 different, actually 4 would be kind of fine. So 4 different arrays. We're going to track the X position of each pill, the Y position of each pill, the visibility of each pill, and the type of each pill. So let me go ahead and go like, yeah, why don't we, how are we going to do this? I'm thinking about this. So I think every time we start a new level, we should do this. Do we spawn next level here? No, we don't. Maybe we should put it in the build bricks. It's technically not really about building bricks. We're talking about pills and no longer about bricks. But every time we rebuild this level, we also want to reset the. You know what? Let me create a new function for this. Why not? Let's go reset pills. And then we're gonna go, okay, everything is gonna go reset. And now it's no longer brick, but pill. Okay. And then we have to also call them, of course. So in start game, we're gonna do this. Let's reset pills. And in next level, reset pills. We could maybe put it in serve ball. I think when we serve a ball, we also want to destroy the power-ups. So yeah, maybe it might be a good idea. So where's serve ball? There goes serve ball. Let's put it here. Okay, so every time the ball is served, we're gonna reset the pills. That's good. So I'm gonna go to the draw function and draw the pill. I think we want to actually make a pill disappear appear on the screen first before we do anything. So here's our draw function. Here's our loop where we loop through all of the bricks, and then we check if they're visible. And I think this is going to be great. That's where we are going to also draw our pills. But this time we're not going to iterate through all of the bricks, but pills. So if we're going to go through as many pills as there are, and if a pill is visible, then, and now comes the part where we actually draw the sprite. And again, we pick up our trusted cheat sheet, and I think the sprite stuff is there we go, up in the corner here. There's two functions. There's SPR and SSPR. I like to think that SSPR is super sprite, but we're just going to use the normal SPR function. So it's SPR. So first, the number of the sprite. We have one pill at this point, so it's going to be just this one is number 1. Next one is going to be the X position. We're going to go like this, square bracket I. Next one is going to be the Y position. And the next one is going to be the width and height and so forth. I think this is so you can have like bigger sprites, not just one, not just one cell, but sprites that cover multiple cells. But we don't need that actually at this point. So that's going to be just enough. That's going to be it. Okay, so now that now that we had this, we're going to actually spawn a pill. Let me save this and run this if this is even working. So far it's working. Okay. So let me go to the part where things are being hit, where bricks are being hit. There we go, trigger power up. So this is, I think, a good moment where we're gonna go spawn pill. We're gonna create a new function called spawn pill, and it's gonna be brick xi. So first, as we're gonna have like X position, Y position, and then type, and that's gonna be 1 for us. Oops. Right. So now we have to actually I did it a bit backwards, and now we have to actually write the spawn pill function. So let's do that just immediately underneath. So something that we didn't really do too much is things like removing entries from an array. I'm just gonna do like a very simple way of adding new elements to this array, which is gonna be like a pill underscore. Oh, actually, here we have to add the arguments. All right, so pill X. Where is it? There we go. And now we're gonna go pill X hashtag. Where's hashtag? Oh, does it work now? Yes, it works. Good. So you have to think about this a little bit. So if the array is empty, pill X will deliver 0. So we're gonna go pill X plus 1. It basically says take how many pills we already have, add one more to it, and address that kind of like element from the array. And so that's what we're gonna do here. Does it even work like this? Oh, I'm not sure if this works. Let's try this. Right here, this, and then this equals underscore X. And then I'm gonna copy this line. So at this point, we can actually take just the number of elements in the pill X array, because it has been already increased by 1 if we create a new element in there. So we can go pick pill Y equals Y. I'm gonna make it visible. We might actually not need the visible, I realized, but let's just keep it around for now, just so we can have it later on. This is basically the same code that we have, or very similar to code to what we had when we created bricks. And now the type, we're gonna add T to it. Let's see if this works. Might not working. Might not be working properly, but that's why we're doing this. Run this. There we go. It did not work. Huh. It did not work. But it didn't work in a very interesting way, where I'm not really sure why it didn't work. There's a lot of things that could have gone wrong here. Just making sure that things are okay here. I'm gonna do a debug in the spawn pill function just to make sure that we actually spawned a pill. Aha, we didn't spawn it for some reason. Oh, right. I think we're in the wrong. I think this is in the wrong. Is it possible that we're in the, yeah, we are in the wrong. This was S for explosion. This is where we put the trigger. I think that my note was just copied because I did a lot of copy and paste. So this is where this goes. Oh, I might complete this level. There we go. There's our pill there. Good. Good. So already doing good. So short explanation on why this works, because previously the way we added new elements to an array was slightly different. Here we use the add function, add something to. We can actually use it now. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. I just used slightly different method here when we use the pills, where if you address an array element that hasn't been defined previously, Pico-8 automatically assumes, okay, this element didn't exist before. I'm gonna fill it with values now. I will make it exist, and so that's why we take a number of an array that's kind of like one more than the number of arrays we have, which is a new array, which is a new element that hasn't been defined before. And Pico-8 goes, oh, this is a new element, a new number. I'm going to create one. This only works in Pico-8, or at least one of the Pico-8 is one of the languages where this works, because in other languages you would get like an error if you tried this. Let me rewrite this maybe to make sure. Let me rewrite this so it works the way we did it before. I think this is a bit clearer. So we're gonna go like this basically, and then we're gonna go like this and this and this. Y, visible, type, actually this is not V, this is true. Okay. So this is basically the same code rewritten. As you can see, the same code rewritten in a slightly different way. There's often multiple ways of accomplishing the same thing. I'm gonna commentate this out so you can play around. Maybe there's a different type of doing stuff. But I kind of like this more in hindsight. Good. So now we're creating those pills, but you remember maybe the goal was to make them actually fall down. So let's do that. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna copy this pill drawing code. And I'm gonna go to our this is our update game function. And so here's where we're moving the ball. And I think before we move the ball, or actually no, we can do it because the ball doesn't actually interact with the pills. So we can put it in here. I'm gonna do like a note, move pills. Okay, so if it's visible, then, and we're gonna do a very simple thing. We're just gonna go pill underscore Y, and so again the idea is to make it move down, so let's just plus equals 1, so we're just going to add 1 to it. Let's see how this looks. Maybe it's a bit too fast. Whoops, what's that? Oh yeah, right, it's an array. Silly me. There we go. Yeah, it's maybe a bit fast. Let's make it a little bit slower. Like this. Yeah, that seems like the right speed. Okay, so now we also, of course, have to think about, what happens if this leaves the screen. So let's go if pill Y is greater than 128, then make it invisible. We could remove it, but I'm just gonna make it invisible. It's gonna be fine. Like even like Pico-8 can deal with a lot of pills. We'd have to create a lot of pills to make it run out of memory. So I think it's okay to just make it invisible and keep adding more elements to this array. If we run into problems, we can rewrite it so we can actually remove the pills from the array. Is equals false. Okay, and then of course, a final problem is that we also want to make the pedal collide with pills. That's going to be a tricky part. Let me try. Oops, run this. There's a problem near the end. Yes, because I made an X. Run. Of course, we won't see it, but we assume that that the pill was removed. Good. I also want to maybe remove the debug that we have here. That can disappear. Right. So how did we do the collision detection again? I have to go back to the good days. Ball box. When a ball hits the box. Okay. That's good. But you see, the problem now is we actually want a pill collide with our pedal. That's kind of like a slightly different kind of collision detection. So we might actually have to make this function. Let me think about this. Yeah. Okay, so we have to write a universal collision detection function, because right now our collision was between a ball that was basically a square, but you know, it was a ball, and then with a box. But now we actually want to have two boxes collide with each other, which is now the pill. So I want to make like a box collision detection. Two boxes. And this collision detection, I'm going to write checks for collision between two boxes. Okay, so basically we already have this, but there's like it's going to be a lot of variables that this requires, because we have two boxes and each box defined by four variables: x position, y position of the top left corner, width, and height. These are four variables that each box is defined by. And so yeah, we have to put both of them in here. We have to make sure that it's box 2, box 2, box 2, box 2. Oops, no. Box. Not sure why this cursor sometimes gets stuck there. Okay, so box 1. This hurts my soul a little bit, because we were writing two separate collision detection functions. Not the ideal situation, but we're gonna have to survive this. Okay, so all these shenanigans, we're just gonna do box 2 on the right side, and then here we're gonna go box 1 underscore y minus box 1 underscore. No, that's actually it. So if y is greater, yes, and then so here we're checking if the top edge of the box of box 1 is beneath the bottom edge of box 2, and if that's the case, there's no collision. Here, then we do this with the other edge. If the bottom edge of box 1 is above the top edge of box 2. So the bottom edge of box 1 is box 1 y plus box y height. And then basically we're just going to copy those two, and we're going to put them in here and just replace all of the y's with x's and all of the h with widths. Like so. Easy peasy for breezy. Good. So now we have box. Box is a function that checks if there is collision between two boxes. And so we're going to basically assume that our pill is a box. Right. So we're going to go if. Now comes box and a lot of stuff. Then we're going to fill this in a second here. And so if this is the case, I'm going to go debug equals pick up exclamation point, and then we're going to make the pill disappear. Right, so now let's fill the box. What do we have? I would do the same. I would fill it with the similar variables that we had when the ball is colliding with the box. So this is this. Oh, it's a brick that we're dealing with. Oh yeah, right, it's a brick collision detection. Let me see where the ball is supposed to collide with a pedal. There we go. There, that's good. Why you do this to me? Okay. Here. No. Where are those? Here. This is where this goes. Okay, so pad is the second box. The first box is going to be pill. Box. Parentheses. There we go. Okay, so we go. The X position of the pill box is going to be pill X. The Y position of the box is going to be pill Y. The width, so each of those cells of those guys here, the width is 8, and the height. Well, you can see we're not actually using the entire height of the sprite. There's two pixels down here missing. So we can go 8 minus 2, that's going to be 6. And that's it. And the rest is just, we had this previously already, the rest is just pad, the explosion of the pad, Y, width of the pad, and so forth. Okay, so let's try this. Pick up. It worked. It worked. Great. And just in time, because this episode is getting very long. Okay, so the next episode, I'm gonna write this down. So we kind of have the pills already, but we still need to have like maybe sound effects for pills. We want to have pill types, which means a random number generator to kind of like have different pills show up and stuff like that. And yeah, and then we can start thinking about implementing the different effects of the gameplay effects of all the picking up the different pills. See you next time around, guys. Bye bye.